Hello. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about how to use the Gutenberg Block Editor. You'll learn how to insert and modify the most useful block types, how to move and rearrange your blocks throughout your post, and how to group blocks together for reusable custom layouts like this. All right, let's dive in. So let's get started adding a block. So there's a couple of different ways you can add a block. One way, if you're not sure, if you want to browse like the entire library of blocks that are installed, you can click this icon over here and go through all the available blocks. And we mostly have a default install of WordPress. So these are all the blocks that come with WordPress. So that's one option. The other option is you can click add block here. And if you can't find the block you want, you can search for it by name. So maybe we want a pull quote. Or you can click Browse All, which will take you over here again. And then the third option to create blocks, you can just hit the / icon, and you can either browse this list, or you can, again, start searching for the one you want and hit Enter when it gets selected. So we'll move that block for now. And I'm just going to take you through the basic blocks, probably in the order that you would use them in terms of most frequent. So the default block is a paragraph block, and every block automatically defaults to paragraphs. So we can just start typing some text. Okay, so that's a paragraph. And then if you hit enter, it'll create a new line here and move to a new block. And again, this is another paragraph block by default. You have a couple styling options with the paragraph block. And to access the settings for any block, you just select that block. And if you look over here, we have some settings. So basically you just get color settings and some size settings. Generally I like to let my text settings be determined by theme, but you could create some larger medium text if you wanted. We're just going to go with the default text, and you can change the text color. Choose a custom color, and you can set a background color if you want to make your paragraph element pop a little bit. You can also add a drop cap. But we're not going to do that. So we'll just see how this looks. And basically the back end of your site for most themes is going to look pretty much the same as the front end now, but we can just go preview. And you can see we have our paragraph block and it looks exactly the same on the front end. So the next type of block you would create very frequently would be a list block. And you can just click add block and then type list. But a shortcut way to add the blocks you want is to go asterisk space for a bulleted block, or you can go number 1 space and it'll automatically create a numbered list. And then if you choose it from the list block, you can choose numbered list or a bulleted list just like so. And so this is a list item, another list item. And you can indent your list just like this. And you can go back to the base level of lists, okay? And then just to get out of your list, you can, once you have a blank list item open, you can just hit enter and that will take you to the next block. And there's not a ton of settings for this block, but I'll show you if you go to numbered list, you can choose the start value for your list. So we could start our list at 5, or you could reverse the list numbering. So you can go from high to low if you want. And you can add a custom CSS class, as you can with any block. If you just put a class like my list class, that will just add a CSS class to your list element. So if we inspect our list item here in Chrome Inspector Tools, you can see that it's an ordered list OL element of my list class, which is what we just assigned to it. And we're not going to style it here, but in my next video, I'm going to show you how you can style all your Gutenberg block elements using CSS. All right, so let's go back to the post here. And another type of block you're going to use a lot is the heading block. And you can choose any heading level from H1 down to H6. Now, you're probably not going to want to use the H1 element very often because your theme will usually put an H1 element at the top, and you only want one of those per page. So Gutenberg 101 by default is an H1, and then we're just going to go with an H2 level, which is H2 major heading level. And then, of course, you can do subheadings. So we could create an H3 level heading. So, okay. And then you do get some styling options again. So if we click on the block, we can go over to color settings. Again, you could do background color, or you could do text color. Generally, I like to, again, let my theme determine the text settings for my heading. But one little thing you might want to use sometimes, if you want to maybe emphasize a word in your heading, is you can just, you can highlight the word. And then if you go to this little drop down here for rich text controls, you can choose text color and choose a color, and it will apply it just to that word. And again, with any element, including headings, you get to add a CSS class. So the next element that you'll use frequently will be images. And you can upload it directly from your computer, or you can get one from your media library. So we'll pick one from our media library. And you can add the alt text here, but you don't have to add the alt text when you insert it. You can also go to the block settings and add your alternative text here. So okay, and you can choose from the default image sizes defined by your theme, or you can set a custom size. We just make it with 400 pixels, and you can choose your alignment: left, right, center, full width. All these are typically defined by your theme, or you can apply custom CSS to tell your theme what to do with these different image classes. So we'll try a full width image for now, and if we go preview it, you can see that the image stretches the full width of the page. Now, if we go back and we just make it align center and we refresh, now it's the same width as your paragraph blocks and everything else. So that's a neat little trick. And if you use a theme like I'm using GeneratePress Pro, it defines these image classes, which will stretch the image to the full width of your post, which is nice. And then, of course, you can also create a caption. So the image caption. You can set a title, which is what you see. See when you hover the image. And if we refresh, there's the caption and there's the image title just from the hover. Another image type you might use a lot would be maybe a block quote. So and you can choose from themes that are defined by your by your theme, or you can apply custom CSS to these again. And there's not very many styling settings. You can't choose the color or anything, so you have to define that. All right, next up is the shortcode block. And of course, you can write your own shortcodes, or a lot of plugins will come with shortcodes. And we're going to be using Shortcodes Ultimate, which is a free WordPress plugin. So you can just click the shortcode elements, and you could, for example, type your shortcode text if you know it. So my shortcode here. Okay. And then that would execute in the page. But if you have a plugin that has shortcodes, it might give you a little add-on to your block editor here. So this is the Shortcodes Ultimate, puts this right here, and we can click that, and we can add any one of their built-in shortcodes. So let's say we want to create maybe an icon list. So we can choose our icon and maybe choose our icon color. And then this is what's going to be inserted. So we can do the live preview, insert shortcode. And if we look, there it is on the front end. Now, what if you want to put some other blocks inside the shortcode? So unfortunately, the shortcode block is not nestable itself, but there is a little trick you can do. So let's say we want to put, make like a shortcode styled box. So we'll go Shortcodes Ultimate, and we'll go to the note shortcode. So by default, this is how it looks. Basically, it just adds a border and some background color, and we're going to insert the shortcode. And then in order to get more blocks inside of it, we're going to duplicate, and we'll delete the front half here. And we'll keep the back half in this one. Okay, and then you can drag any blocks in between these two shortcodes to put them inside of it. So we can put the image down here. And we could drag the list down. And we'll click update. And as you can see, they're both inside the shortcode note block. All right, another block that is handy is the classic block. And this is if you're just used to the classic editor and there's just some feature that you miss that you feel like you don't know how to do in the Gutenberg editor and you're still learning. So you can bring up it basically gives you every feature of the classic WordPress text editor right inside a block, and you can do whatever you want. You can type shortcodes and get the classic tiny MCE controls that you have. So that's that block. And let's maybe try some more advanced blocks. So we've got a video block is something you're going to use a lot. And there's just, there's like a default video block or a YouTube block. Let's see, we can go with the embed block is what we want. So embed, and you can embed basically anything. So we'll get a YouTube video. Okay, so I've got a YouTube video that I want to embed here. So I've got the embed code. We'll just click embed, and it automatically detects what type of embed it is. And you can see the block has now switched to a YouTube video, and that's it. And the only real setting you get for your embeds is you can choose whether to make it responsive or not. And it's always a good idea to leave that on, and that makes it so that the width of the video is never wider than the screen if somebody is using a mobile device. Oh, so one more useful feature if you're browsing for blocks is that if you hover over the block type, it'll give you a preview of what that looks like, so what to expect. And so for example, if you want to see what the cover block is, basically it's some text over an image. So let's go create a cover block, and you can select it as like basically a big background color, or you can make it a gradient, use some of the default ones, or use your own. But we're going to delete this one and create a new cover with an image. So cover, we'll choose from the media library. We'll use this as our cover image, and you can just start typing. Okay. And you can actually add blocks inside the cover image. So this is a nestable block. So you can put like a heading or a paragraph, and then you can put a list inside your cover image. And if we click update, you can just preview it on the front end. Okay. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, could you please take a quick second to hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to get all our latest tips and tutorials whenever they come out. Thanks. Okay, so another couple blocks you'll find useful. Let's see, we've got the columns block. And this is great anytime you want to split your post into two columns. So say we want to have like maybe just a list that's split into two sections. So we'll go. And then we can duplicate this. So duplicate the list, and then we can actually drag it over to the other column here. So we could have like a pros and cons list or something. And if we go to the front end, okay, you can see it's easily split into two columns. And if you resize the browser here, you'll notice it's responsive for mobile users, and the columns will stack on top of each other if the browser gets narrow enough. Then there's the table block, and you probably only want to use this for very simple tables, just like a little bit of data that's organized, but you can quickly add headings. So you have to choose to turn on the header. So And then you can edit your table items. And you can't drag blocks into these. Basically, all you can add is you can put like an inline image in. So if you want to put like a really small image, and edit the image, and we'll make it like 50 pixels. Okay. And we'll just fill out this table real quick and go see how it looks on the front end. All right, so that's it. Very quick way just to create a very simple table. And again, you can apply CSS rules to this table if you want. And your theme may have like some default styles. So you can just add stripes to the table and generate press if you choose the stripes version. And you could choose a background color for the other rows. All right, another useful block is the divider or separator block. So I usually use this to divide sections. Maybe you've got like a list of different products or something and you want to add a separator. So we'll add the separator, and there's the default version of the wide line version. You can add colors to your separator if you want. So you can make it a colored separator. Pretty easy. Or there's the button block. So anytime you have a call to action, you might want a button, and you can just type the link text. Now, one of the tricks with buttons is if I click right in the button, there's no controls to center the button, but really the button is inside another bigger block, which is the buttons group. So if we go here, we can change the alignment to right or center. And then if you click in the button itself, you can choose to make it like a ghost outline button, or a bordered button, or just a filled button, and you can change the color settings. So we could change the text color, or we could change the background color, or make it a gradient, and change the border radius, stuff like that. And you set your link rel here. So if you want to make it a no follow button, you could do that. Choose whether to open the new tab, and then for the link itself, you click the link item here, and we'll just click, make it target this page, but now it's a clickable button. And if we go to the front end, there's our button. There's one more block I want to show you, and that's the group block. So let's say you want to organize some content together. Maybe you want to make a little box that has like a heading, some text, and a call to action button. And maybe we can add some features. Okay, and we'll just use this button and we'll drag it down. All right. Oh, I see what I did wrong there. You actually have to grab I was grabbing the button, but you got to grab the group. So the buttons actually get a little bit tricky like that. And then now, if we want to put them in a group together, because right now, if you try to move an element around, they're not joined together. And you could just shift click and select them all and then move them as one. But if you want to style them together, that's not really that useful. So what we're going to do is while they're selected, we're going to click the three dots here, and we're going to click group together. And now you can see that they've been put in their own box. And you can add extra stuff to the group. For example, if I just hit the plus button here, I could add a new block. I could put an image or something in here inside my group. Okay, so if we go to the front end of our site, and we can just use Chrome Inspector tools again to get the classes for styling, but we have a WP block group class of my group. So let's go to our customize, and we'll add some CSS the right way. So additional CSS, and let's go back down. Okay, so we'll make the rule WP block group, which is also of class my group. So there's no space between them. And There we go. And we'll say background color light gray, border one solid gray, and we can add a border radius just to put some curve on the corners like so. And maybe we don't want it quite so wide, so maybe we'll go max width 600 pixels, and we want to align it in the center, so we'll say margin maybe like 40 pixels on the top and bottom and auto on the sides. So there you go. We can just click publish, and we have ourselves a nice little style box, and it took 30 seconds. All right, now what you can do with this group that's really useful is, let's say you want to put this advertisement or this call to action on multiple posts or even every post. So instead of having to recreate it every time you write a new post, what you can do is we can add this to the reusable blocks. So we'll call it my call to action, and we'll save. And then now if we go to a new post, so we can we'll update it and add a new post, and we can create this block. So you can either search for reusable blocks and you'll see it here, or you can just start typing the name of your reusable block, and you can see we added it instantly. If you're starting a website for the first time or looking to upgrade your hosting, you should check out Cloudways. It's the most affordable WordPress VPS hosting I've found, and I use it for almost all of my high traffic sites. It's powerful, fast, scalable, and actually cheaper than most shared web hosting. You can spin up your own private server with a single click and start building your site within minutes. There are no long-term contracts or promotional pricing gimmicks, and since they offer hourly billing, you can literally try it for less than 2 cents. To get the best advertised price and support our channel, make sure you use my link, which is cwdeal.com. All right, thanks for watching this video. I hope it gave you a better understanding of how to get the most out of the WordPress Block Editor. And make sure you check out my next video where I will teach you how to style all these blocks using CSS to add a unique style to your website. This is a brand new channel, and I want to teach what you want to learn, so please leave a comment with a suggestion for future videos. And make sure you like and subscribe. And in the meantime, go build that website.